It boosts any lobby quite heavily. Because anyone who gets engaged by the demon is like, is
Yeah.
kind of a loss for
You
them.
know which
Like,
one I would probably like too is the poison one. I can never remember his fucking name.
oh, you mean the
The
oh
rot the
yeah,
rotten one. I don't know its name. I always forget.
uh,
Plague bearer. Thank
plague
you.
bearer. Yeah, there we go.
Because he can just really fuck
Yeah,
up
they are
people's. He
amazing.
can fuck up hit
It's
chance. He takes red pills away. Chains of chaos. You could see where my
yeah,
opponent would just get
especially
crushed,
in
man.
like the lower levels. Like when you're like level 10, yeah, he's annoying, but not that horrible.
Well,
But like
still
in
though,
lower
he takes
levels,
away
like
red
you can't even
pills
hit
with
him.
his. He has his
Yeah.
AOE thing where he throws out that cloud, which reduces
Mm.
red pills plus hit chance. I think he does a lot of annoying shit.
Yeah.
He also has a green comet of Sigmar kind of thing that he only uses
Oh
in the
yeah.
story, only in the story missions. He doesn't use it in the
Hmm.
Yeah, I
normal
was gonna say
games.
I've never seen
I've
that.
I- I've seen that used once, and I was like so surprised because I've met them a lot of times on like PVs and stuff, and I'd never seen the ability, the comet, and then he used it and just killed like one of my dudes, and I was really pissed off.
So as you can see with the Warband rewards, they follow a certain structure. Like for the first one, it's sort of gas for getting the next levels. Two
Mm,
is the map
Yeah.
shows, three is a temporary reward, four is a decent permanent reward, and five is like the bonus you want.
yeah. Imagine getting Skaven, getting a crush the will on scavengers of the cash. That's the gold. That's where you want to be.
Yeah, but it's difficult to get that too.
Oh yeah, of course,
They're
but
separated.
still,
What's the
that would
theory
be
with
the
hunters and
best.
prey there? Just because I can get on. So I guess I need to go initiative a bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think a lot of the Skaven is definitely going to build for initiative. Like
No, I'm looking
they
at
seem
chaos.
well made
My
for it.
opponents cannot veto hunters and prey. So I guess that's where we're both split into three, right? So
Yeah.
You mean cult?
yeah. So
Yeah,
So
but
half your games you have a chance of doing that then.
mm,
hunters and prey is
I
both.
love I love Hunters and Prey.
Yeah,
It's one
both
of my
teams are split
favorite
into three, right?
deployments.
Isn't that what that is? Both teams are split into
Yeah, it
three.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it
it's
is.
not really it's not an initiative win. It's very tactical, and I love it so much. It was the game I lost to Slavia. Uh, I believe we played Hunters and
I'm
Prey.
trying to
Quite
bring
sure
up
we did.
the card now. I know it's off the information link, isn't it?
What did you say?
Yeah, there it is. The deployment card. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
No, it's also there on tournament indeed.
Yeah, I'm using Discord link.
All
I think
right.
that was a bit smoother.
I really like the Pounce of Count Gothard. So you could use your Chaos
Yeah,
Spawn if you've leveled one up. But that's only a one-time use, unfortunately.
but it's a
Yep.
strong one.
All right, so that's fun. And you want to look at Skaven?
Yeah, let's go over.
Completing any objective, Scavengers counts as two objectives of that
What's
kind. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
really
what's really
strong.
nice about the one is that scavengers and the cache.
Yeah.
I don't think those are maps that you ban, right? I don't think you wanna veto those away against Skaven.
Yeah,
So they're
because you
quite
want to
likely
get the high
to.
initiative ones indeed.
Yeah. So you're probably gonna have each time you get scavengers or the cache, you're probably gonna get that. You know, they're quite likely maps
Yeah.
to come up for you as Skaven. So that's a really nice bonus.
Yeah.
I love the first bonus.
That's
So
gonna,
what's the
like you
next
said,
one?
it's gonna kind of give them gas to level up
Hmm.
and get the rewards they need.
Yeah, it's the same for everyone on the first one. It's
Skaven are gonna be
gas.
dangerous. They're gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, they are.
So what's number?
Let's see. The second one is also, well, is a given, I suppose.
Yeah, that's like a auto win for them, though. I guess if you're getting ambushed by the Skaven, you'll just try to do crush their will and move on with life.
Yeah,
Do we
I
get
would
we
just
get
go
the
for
we?
objective.
Okay, wait a.
Why
This is a
why don't you just
question.
always veto that
So
for
Karand,
when you get
Yeah.
it?
can I? When do you get to pick which secondary objective you want. Once you know everything, then you can pick
No,
your second.
yeah, you can pick. Yeah, exactly. You pick it
Okay.
once you know everything.
So I'm like, all
They,
right, the
Yeah.
Skaven just got me in an ambush. Maybe I'll just try to do crush their will and move on with life.
yeah,
Hmm.
Okay.
Which is nice.
Yeah, that you can use that if you.
It's still something that, like, and I mean, the Skaven player won't want you to do that though. They might be expecting it, that you're gonna throw the game, and in that case, they will probably just like try to stay by your,
Yeah, if they try to camp
maybe
their
they'll take
cart.
the idol, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they try to camp their idol, but you can use that to your
Mm.
advantage, I guess.
It really makes the game evolve into something else because this far, like, people don't think this far usually. You think,
Yeah.
how do I win
Yeah.
the game?
Yeah.
And that's it. But now you're thinking like, okay, the game is not going to be won. What am I going to do instead? Okay, I'm going to go for the secondary, and then the opponent can also be, okay, he's not going to want to win the game. He's going to go for the secondary. How can I prevent that?
Well,
you know?
another one on
Yeah.
that layer, then you
a
take
different mindset.
you take marked for death because then they don't know which of their rats are marked, and you can try to at least just kill them, right? So there's a lot of
I
difference.
suppose. But then again, Mark for Death is an easy one to, or easy, but it's
Yes and
usually quite
no.
easy to
I mean,
complete.
it can be unless it's like the one archer they're hiding in the back, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Jesus Christ.
Or like the mage.
what do you think of their ability to change the turn timer?
Yeah, that
I
was.
love it. I've always loved short turn timers. So the rank 4 one is amazing in my opinion.
On the flip side, I think
It's
it
also
bothers
nice
them
because-
with the Eshin Sorcerer. I think that's kind of annoying for the Poison Wind Globadier and Eshin Sorcerer, but
Yeah, and all of the delays and ordering and the globadiers.
yeah.
But then again, when playing Skaven, you can just plan around this and build simple builds that are quick to complete, while your opponent might have very complex
Yeah,
builds where they have
exactly.
to delay. With a maiden, you really want to delay for second wind,
Yeah.
for instance.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's going to be a really terrible option against Skaven. So
Yeah.
I like that we are limiting the builds that are really strong usually. And I know the maiden second wind build is insane, so this is a limiter, I believe, which I enjoy. And I like it's also kind of flavorful, so I like
Same
it.
with I think
know?
I think it affects a lot like witch hunters trying to get their armor of righteousnesses and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
great.
interesting. And
I
then
love it.
and then the undead
Of
trying
course,
to do
this puts
their
pressure. It puts pressure on this Skaven player as well.
yeah.
But if you plan accordingly, you won't. As long as you think relatively fast, it won't be any issue. I believe
No, I don't think so either.
nothing major at the most.
So then
Let's
you
see what the
also
one-time
number 5
reward
is
is.
really really strong because you're adding sneak attack and that adds to ambush as well,
Yeah.
and that leaves them a lot of that gives them one less thing to veto, so they can catch
Yeah,
you in a lot of shitty
exactly.
deployments.
Exactly. That means you need to veto both sneak attack and ambush already.
And probably
I guess.
But it's
Haunter,
also
and then
a
probably
question if they
Haunter
will
in
ever
the.
get up that far.
You want to get rid of Haunter in the darkness
hard
as
to get level
well,
5.
so.
See here,
Yeah.
one use reward must be used before the playoffs in the next 50.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're playing how many matches per faction? You obviously need to get 15 secondaries of each total, right? 3 of each type.
I think you ended up the total games that your faction is committed to Kirapa is 93.
So can you do 15
Well-
out of 93? I would think so. Right?
Yeah, I would hope so.
I would think that's going to
And-
get unlocked.
I'm gonna see how this table progresses, and if it goes really fast, I'm gonna give an extra reward for level 6. That's gonna be like an extra PV or something.
Okay, cool.
Oh, cool.
So
How
have
about you
something
let
else to
me-
strive for,
how
but
about-
we'll see how quick it is.
How about instead of number 3 being only used before the tournament, maybe 6 can be used in the tournament? That'd be interesting.
Would
Yeah,
also be
it's
powerful.
also an option.
Well, it depends what it is, obviously.
It's also kind of annoying because I think both players might want to use it, and
Yeah.
both things are like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna get a new map.
Yeah.
What do you think of the undead team then?
Okay, so
Yeah,
for
let's go for
every
them.
3
Let's see.
impressives that the unders. That's cool. I like that.
Oh, nice. And impressives are gonna be really prevalent, so that's a nice one. What I like about the number 1 on Undead as well is that it is different.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah,
of the
it's
other ones
unique.
is like, yeah, you give like a double, like, oh yeah, if you get worse than Rush, you get like it's like you've completed 2 if you complete 1. That's like the usual structure.
No, there's only
But for this one,
2 teams.
yeah, but still, it's like it's always something kind of similar. But this is different. It takes another element in with the impressives and everything. So I do like this a lot.
So they could do Horrors of
And
Mordheim and
yeah.
always be at the cart as well. Interesting.
And you always want to kill impress. Oh well.
Horrors of Mordheim is not a cart. Horrors of Mordheim is 3 teams are scattered.
According to your card, it says 1 warband is divided into 3 while the other is scattered around. Oh, scattered around the map. But that's more centrally located, I think.
Yeah, but it all depends a bit because it depends a bit on the map, of course. But usually, being scattered can be very powerful if you have some luck. It's a bit lucky. Because,
I mean, case in point was you against Slavier. You know,
yeah.
Because you never know where the.
Also lucky, you know, because if I had like my Magister or something out in the open, and that would have been one guy down. Yeah. That would have been essential.
But the one thing I think experienced
you know?
Mordheimers like is predictability. You know exactly where those teams of 3 are, while you have no idea who is where scattered. So you could be walking into like a total disaster. When you're like, oh look, I can kill this 1 unit, but it turns out there's like 4 units all around there that are gonna walk out of the buildings and just crush.
I like that sense of risk.
Yeah.
You know, one of the nice things about deploying in 3 groups, however, is that if your opponent has some units that are higher initiative and they're scattered, you get to see where they are as you deploy.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like it.
So many subtleties.
And then
let's continue with Undead.
They get to do Middle Bridge.
Number 2.
I mean that's just an interest. I don't know why Middle Bridge, but
I didn't have much. I did. Library is the most classic one, but I didn't want Library to be part of the tournament.
It's fun, but it's not fun at the same time.
Middle Bridge is more quirky, that helps a fast
but not fun to play in the end. I feel.
Yeah, not for all the new players.
I think it helps a fast initiative warband.
Even for veterans, it's hard. Like I don't know where all the portals lead. I can remember a few.
If you can see that the one used on the reward for destruction, it's all about the map pick, and the order side it gets a different thing. But let's look at number 4 then for Undead. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one.
So you know what I'm thinking immediately? If I had the Undead, I would have played Call of Van Hell Initiative Ladder, which you did with Mordheim Madness Season 2.
Yeah.
And then to be able to take Crimson Shades on top of that, I think you could have done a lot of weird shit. You know, I think that's pretty strong.
And also, like, in addition to that, they also have a preventive measures against the Comet spam late game.
Yeah, amulets,
talismans.
Yeah,
and they can cancel out Strangling Globe on their Necromancers.
But you also have to realize that, like, even if consumables are quite easy to get, to get your hands on, it's quite hard to stock up on like one certain consumable that is not Greta's boon, you know?
You mean like the fire bombs, for example?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not that foolproof. Like, it's not like everybody's going to walk around with always going to have like 5 talisman if they meet sisters. It's going to be quite difficult.
Well, on the flip side, also, you'll have to think about when those come up for sale in the shop, do you buy them? And B, most people sell their consumables for really good gold income. So
yeah, and that's a gold income you're not going to have.
Yeah, so
as an Undead player. Yeah. So it's I think it's still very good though.
They only need 6 consumables, but in total in every game. But yeah, you need some combinations. That's true.
Yeah. And oh my god, not even that. They can also use Mandrake if they want to. Which is
but I mean, I'm doing
with the Vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vampire, Mandrake, heavy armor. Woohoo!
Yeah, so I'm doing my Skaven campaign right now. I'm immediately selling all the purples, and when some come up for sale, you're like, why would I ever buy that? But now it's like, oh wow, purple talisman. This is a nice rotation in the market, worth buying.
Yeah, I suppose.
No. What do you think of the level 5 then for Undead?
It's different. I don't know what's going on there.
No, I really love this one. I think is this the one This is the same as before, right?
No, it's not.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I think I've seen this before, Karen. I think I have. Or maybe it's just similar. Probably similar.
I don't know why you want why are you trying to drop a hero? I don't. So.
Because
Because the vamp.
think of it like this: a lot of people come into the game with a game plan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They have this plan of how everything's going to synergize together, and then suddenly, boom, you get undead, and like one hero slot is just off tables.
Yeah.
It's going
So
to be a lot more difficult now. Like, say you're up against sisters, and they have like double purify. Suddenly, that's just one purify. Like it's.
yeah, I mean, I guess
It's,
I can see with like, hey, the vampire leader's very strong too as a leader, and if you just have
yeah.
a vampire leader, a thrall, and maybe a necromancer, you have very strong tanky kind of leaders, I guess. I don't know.
But also, it's not only that. Another thing, if you are playing around, say that okay, I expect that I'm gonna get a rank 5 on my under team late game, which you probably will. You can have it as like your fourth slot will kind of be like a reserve slot in a manner. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Because in all of your games, we're gonna have, when you're gonna be ranked 5 as a faction, you're gonna have one slot gone because you're always gonna use this, I believe. At least I would. And maybe you can have like one guy that you always change in when you meet magic, and one guy that you have otherwise, or
Yeah.
something like that. You can kind of like, you can use it as a reserve slot as well, which I said earlier. I think it's pretty neat.
And
I
you
think
can
it has a
also
lot of
couple it
potential.
with the reward for level 4. It goes really well with the 5 here because you can concentrate more of your consumables to fewer
Oh
characters.
yeah,
Well,
that's
I don't
also
know. The
true.
Crypt Horror too. I mean, I don't know how that changes anything. But if say your sisters and you're trying to bring the maiden, that only leaves you one hero slot left, I guess. I don't know. So you
Yeah, and
can't.
that's kind of annoying for sisters. Like,
Yeah,
say
because
they
you
go
can't
for a
have the sister
purifier and
superior
sister
giving.
and then maiden combination.
Yeah, because
What
the
are they
sister
gonna choose?
superior usually gives that mobility, but then you'll lose that if you want to
Yeah,
take the second wins. Or yeah, I could see some
yeah,
things there.
and there's a lot of other builds that have the same issue. Like, say you're playing, I don't know, witch hunters, for example. I don't know if you probably go like double Templar into maybe a wolf priest into a warrior priest,
Yeah, and you lose that.
and suddenly you have to drop one. Well, are you
Yeah,
going to drop your melee front, or are you going to drop one of your caster that buff your melee front?
yeah.
No,
It's interesting. It's
it's
definitely different. So.
yeah, it brings a lot of like interesting choices into the game. I like it.
And Chaos are kind of strong there because they're buffing all the leaders. So
Yeah, true. It's better
harder
for some. It's
to
also good
bring.
for Skaven.
Yep.
It's difficult for Monster Order's side. Like I think probably, let's see, witch hunters will suffer and sisters will suffer most, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, I think so too, maybe.
All right,
That's also kind of nice because those are, kind of the opposed factions to undead. They're the ones that hate them most.
it'll be
So,
interesting. I mean, it changes the
I like
gameplay.
it.
So.
Chaos are not suffering that much, really.
No.
So Abaddon, I was really rooting for you, but we missed you there. You had a chance to join the Chaos team, but
Yeah, I was hoping for a while to join the Chaos team.
I know you. Yeah, I know you're
Well, Abaddon,
experienced
don't
with
say that
him.
now. I'm here. Come on, man.
Well, that's his background. I know
Don't say these things.
he's a Chaos
Chaos?
player.
Oh, no.
I'm a Chaos player at heart. So.
What? No.
Yeah.
No. I've
But,
only seen you as Mercs. So come on.
but my second favorite is Mercs. So
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
okay. Okay, I'm fine with that. I've already expressed my feelings that
And I believe
didn't
Abaddon
wanna be
has
Mercs,
experience.
but I wanted to be sisters. But I do love my team, so I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, Abaddon
Yeah.
played Mercs in BBL 3, I believe, or 2, whatever it was. So
yeah, BBL2 I played Mercs.
yeah, so he's
Yeah.
experienced with the
I remember.
progression.
What do you think of the sisters team then?
Yeah, so
Oh yeah, let's check
Their
them out.
rewards.
Give me a sec. I'm just gonna.
so you get to pick which one that counts as, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one is just the Western Rush Muffled. Oh yeah, that's kind of neat.
So I think we all
if
agree
you
their
need one or
hardest
the
thing
other,
will
it's
kind of
simple.
be crush their will anyway. So
True.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Of course.
Let's go for the second. It might be more interesting.
Vision of Dread. I have to bring that up.
Oh
now.
yeah.
That's let's see, Vision of Dread. That's Wagon versus Scattered.
Okay. And they always get to be at the wagon.
Nice.
They always get to be at the wagon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So
Why
they
not?
can maybe take early advantage of a unit that was randomly scattered closer to their cart. They can kind of jump on them quicker.
Yeah, like with comets, they can probably get a few shots off as well,
Yeah.
which is quite nice. Could
Um,
even be like
Yeah.
an insta kill on one unit, which is like game changing.
Yeah, and they can start with quite a lot of comments from the get-go.
Yeah, so that can be pretty strong if you build towards it again. It all depends. Like going full comet has its risk. It has a lot of reward going full comet because it's very strong, but it really drops in power late game because then
Yeah.
you start
Yeah.
comparing with lightning strike. Oh no, lightning strike is better. Okay, magic resistance. Everybody expects you to go comets.
I mean, yeah. Look at Karin's warband by the end there. Like the witch hunters didn't give a shit.
No.
So, yeah, it really does lose its power.
And
It's an
they
early
have a different one use only reward.
Yeah, for all
Yeah,
the
let's see here.
henchmen.
One use
yeah.
only.
I was
Must be used before playoffs.
I was
Okay.
really hoping.
Hey, you guys still here?
Hello. Welcome to Nashi.
Oh, 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 oh. That V reward is pretty amazing.
Yeah, so everyone can heal for
That's it.
1 PvP.
Nanashi brought in 10 people.
Yeah, I had to mute him.
Yeah.
And then your opponents can't pick any map from the Nobles district. Yeah, you were talking about that, being able to use the hit and run tactics in the market and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, where, just a question, where can you see the...
Go into battle screenshots on
Well,
Discord.
here
or
you
the
go,
tournament
Abaddon.
site.
Here you go.
And then you got the Temple of Sigmar, which I love. I'm really glad you're able to
Thank you.
use that for them because that's kind of their home, right? So
Yeah, it's so fitting. What do you think about the 4?
I think it's good for comet casting because the merchants district
Yeah.
is the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
convoluted
Hit and
one.
run,
That's
hit
why
and
I
run.
think-
Fuck. Nobles district is just a pain because
and that's
you can't
so.
get the
For
comets
example, yeah,
across.
that really counters you really hard with the mercs. You want to be able to shoot things, but if
Yeah.
they're in merchants,
Yeah.
they'll be hiding from all your ranged and stuff. so.
Fucking sisters. But
So-
I mean, it's good though.
It's funny though, if they pick that
But-
for me with chaos, I'd be like, great, I can hide as I move forward to rip your arms
Yeah.
off. You know.
Well, still, I think the 4 is still a very good thing for sisters. I think they. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's just strong. It's just a solid like rank reward.
Yeah,
I
because they
believe.
don't really use
And then
ranged.
temple,
They don't use
yeah, it's
ranged
nice.
weapons, so they'd rather slowly move up using cover and using magic. That's
Yeah.
exactly what they want.
It's strong versus me. It's strong versus maybe.
Yeah,
Might be
it's
strong
really
versus-
strong versus mercs, because mercs really like to have open fields where
Yeah.
they can shoot people.
And then if your opponent
I
picks
mean,
this
it
map,
can
you
be
get to
strong versus
decide the
Skaven as well.
deployment. At Temple, you
And
get
then
Not
the
as
Temple
much
of
because they have
Sigmar.
lower range.
yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Temple of Sigmar, which is really
Which-
it is thematically very nice.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so flavorful. I love it. Let's move on to the
Mercenaries.
maps. My faction, Abaddon's faction. Oh yeah, here we go.
Winning faction.
The winning faction. I like your attitude. Let's go for this. So our first thing is, oh yeah. So we set the objective to random, and then every time we get Wordstone's Rush, we can get a double. That's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
that's yeah.
Especially in the beginning, because there's no specific
that needs
reward
to
that we
be-
need.
Can get the warband table rolling quickly.
Yeah. Of course, Wordstone Rush is also, in my opinion, probably the easiest one to accomplish sometimes. It can be really, really easy at times. So
Yeah, I don't know if that. Yeah.
I suppose it is. And another thing to consider is that though that Wordstone Rush can be very competitive. Like if both players have it, oh geez,
Yeah.
scrambling for
then you're
Wordstone.
going to punch each other to smithereens
Yeah.
for sharks.
I like that. I like Wordstone Rush. I
But you
think
got to
that can be
take
pretty-
random, so it's kind of risky taking random because you don't know what it'll be.
But still, like in the beginning, I think it's the best.
And then you get
In
to
a way.
pick
Pillagers
starting.
deployment on level 2. That's either you start inside buildings, or you start in 3 groups surrounding that building.
Yeah.
I'll have to do some testing. I'm not too into pillars at the moment.
Yeah,
Pillages.
I think that mercs can be really good with pillagers because they can set up their ranged units upstairs with good shooting opportunities and.
Oh yeah. You want to start in the middle, like surrounded?
Yeah.
You probably want to. You know what?
Interesting.
Hole poker. You probably want to pick that for crush their will in a way too. You start inside and then you just overwhelm the team at the cart.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then try to
Yeah.
get
And
the
castle
flag
really-
and run it
yeah,
back.
they are so close.
Yeah, because I don't think you'll be that
so good
far.
to crush the will. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice one for that.
I love that.
Yeah, so
Let's keep going.
and,
well.
and that's also a really good one. Then you can start up, gather up in your building, run out, get it, get back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy game.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
And then
continue here. A
can hire-
one-time only reward. What is this?
I don't know how much that's going to reward them. It's going to take a while to get to rank 4. By then, won't we be close to that point anyway? That's my one concern there.
And it depends. We'll see. Start with 3 first. One
I
consumable.
missed
The
that.
entire team can
So,
carry one of
yeah.
that consumable.
So basically, when I meet Clyde, I'm gonna have talismans on everybody. That's
Well,
Yeah.
you
basically
can,
what it
you
is.
can use this PvP, this reward for a specific player, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
Or
just
say,
put it
you know,
until
someone
find it
takes-
useful.
You could do Crimson
for Clyde.
Shades or something. Yeah.
or Kid Import. Oh yeah, Kid Import. Wait, what are you playing? Kid Import? You're playing.
Chaos. So maybe you
Playing
take
Chaos.
crit resist or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't feel like there's anything that's so specific that I want
Crimson
to-
Shade, everyone.
Yeah, it would be Crimson Shade, or it would be like Mandrake or something.
Yeah.
Heal
I
up.
think. Not Heal Up. I think it's overrated.
Hopefully you can get to
Yeah.
level 4 though, really fast.
Heal up isn't that good. I mean, it's only 20 or 30 HP.
It's the thing is like Heal Up are a really good fill slot when you could use full consumables, but now that you can't, it's like it's not your first choice. It's what you take when you don't have anything else that really works, or that like you don't need anything more in terms of utility. That's when you take healing.
Yeah.
Because it's always good, but it's not as strong. It's not like game changing. Usually not.
And then your
Let's get for our
opponent gets
fourth
to
reward. It's gonna be
veto
interesting.
1 less deployment, and you get to veto 1 more. So that's pretty nice for them.
Yeah. High swords, full cycle head of other warbands.
So maybe you can even ambush people, you know? I don't know. Like you could find some weird shit there.
Guys, have you checked out 4? It's quite interesting.
Yeah, I just don't know. You're going to have to get there quickly, and maybe you can, and then that will pay off a lot.
Yeah.
So
That will pay off
We'll
a
have-
lot if you do get it there.
Yeah,
I think
it would be a
we
very
really can
strong
get there quite fast because we can get Crush the Wheel easy with pillagers, and we can get Person Rush.
you
easy
know
with
why
the
I
first
think-
one, so-
I think you guys will get there quickly because you have a really fucking good team. I mean,
You have a strong team.
I
It's
think-
just about organizing. Like getting those
Yeah.
first 2 crush the will is the hard part,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
after that, I think it'll like easen up. It's the first 2 crush the will. So get 2 crush the will first, and then we are solid.
Yeah. But you have good players going against some unknowns or beginners. I think
Oh,
you
yeah.
could do it.
I mean, you have like some unknowns, maybe some underdogs. Kid Import. It's going to be interesting to see like Dissolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
And some
might
other
have a new
guys.
Nashi in this midst. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And that would be really beneficial for you, like having someone like that just playing.
Yeah.
On
And
your
then you
side.
have the rank 5 here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we
nice,
see that.
obviously. Anytime you have more selection, that's always beneficial. So
Yeah, that's really good. And then it's really good against Skaven too.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so strong.
Ooh.
It's amazing. That's a solid. That's a really
Yep.
solid. It's just like mercenaries, solid and good.
yeah.
I love that. I'm
Hello,
gonna have
Arthur.
to. Yeah. Hello, Arthur.
Hey,
I'm gonna meet you quite soon.
Wait, what? What?
We are playing against each other, I believe, right?
Ah, you don't get my cheese. It's mine.
We're
You
taking all the
wish.
greenstone. All the greenstone.
Yeah.
So you only have 1 warband left to go through.
yeah, so
Witch
you have the Witch
Hunters.
Hunters during an objective
Me-
victory. Count the objective as
think-
crush their will. I mean, that's insane.
I think that honestly, one of the strongest warbands will probably be Witch Hunters this season. I'm quite sure.
Always. Oh, yeah,
they
always.
have some amazing synergies they can pull off.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
they have
witch
they've-
hunters when they are starting with 2 warrior priests and 2 Templars.
So I need some clarification,
Templars.
Karn. What you
Oh.
meant with during an objective victory count? So they have to lose but get the secondary, or they just have to
Yeah.
get a secondary?
No, they have to
No.
lose and get a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this one.
Otherwise, it's a decisive victory.
Okay.
Yeah, so I love this thing because it makes it kind of good to lose at times. It's just nice because they're quite weak in the beginning, especially. So
Well,
they get
especially
some
crush
extra
their
payoff
will,
from that.
yeah. It's tough to do crush the will for them for sure. That's probably the hardest warband faction.
They're the
So-
slowest.
Yeah.
So
it is.
it's a nice buff, I believe. It's
And
a
then
good
we got to
buff.
look up the cache
Yep.
here. They always start by
Um,
their cart on the cache.
That's 3
Yeah.
groups versus wagon.
Okay, that obviously is an advantage. You
It's
can.
good.
One question, Kevin.
It's very strong.
The last
The
screenshot
cache
you
with
posted
witch
in.
hunters can be super good on Merchant 2, I believe the small one is.
Yeah, on certain maps. I think Merchant 1, yeah, any of the small maps, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
because then you can get into close combat.
Yeah, of course. So if you're playing
turn
the
one.
witch hunters, you should probably take more wide open maps, but at the same time they might like that with how they're ranged. So it's interesting.
It depends on their build a lot. They're
Yeah.
quite flexible in
Yeah.
that regard. Again, when they have set on a build, they're not flexible
And then
anymore,
we
but-
get into the firebomb
no,
hell,
until-
which is gonna melt my
Yeah.
TV
Yeah.
monitor. I mean,
Firebombs unlimited.
Firebombs.
I like it. I like
Oh,
the
God.
theme, man. They can just throw firebombs everywhere.
It's gonna be very. It's also very thematic, you know. Gonna
Yeah.
burn
with
away
fire,
all the purge with fire. Exactly.
Yeah, you take the executioner,
Heavenly flame.
fire purge, fire bombs,
flame,
just
maybe.
burn.
Yeah, and it's kind of similar to the 4 as well.
And you know what's neat for them? It helps create choke points. You can kind of choke off a area, a hallway.
It's
Yep.
similar to what people are doing with club ideas nowadays. Like
Yeah.
if you say you like start with rivals, whatever, and you're approaching, and then like when you are coming kind of close, people start like, okay, I don't want you coming into this corridor. I'll just poison that way for you. Oh, you're gonna come here.
Yeah,
They
you get
just
punished.
poison all the entryways. That you
And
can
it
come to them.
helps their ranged out so much. It's like, all right, you can come
Mm.
fight my range, but you'll be burning by the time you get there.
It also gives them the opportunity to choose the battleground which you fight on better
Yeah.
than anyone else, which is very nice.
Yeah.
In some situations, I should say, not always. It depends a bit.
And then
let's see the
5
4.
helps them.
Oh, yeah, that was another
And then
firebomb.
5 helps them with their shitty henchmen because they probably have the shittiest henchmen in the game.
Yeah, the 5 is amazing because the problem with the biggest weakness is their henchmen. Like
Yeah, for
they're
sure.
really weak on henchmen. That is so bad. It's
And
what
if
it's
they
like.
can get that down to 4, that's really good for them.
Yeah.
And not only that, they also get a higher as 0 ones, so they're effectively better. They have 5 henchmen, and all the other people.
Which
only
I would
have
say you
4.
would probably want to take a
that-
flagellant, even though they're going to die immediately. It can be like a psych immune unit that just goes and blocks
Yeah.
someone for a turn or two.
Yeah.
It's also it's very neat because a lot of players go for, like, if you have some luck, you can get Smay Room, and then you can play with the Fear, and you can also play with the All Alone, since you have one more character
Yeah.
to force All Alone test with.
Exactly.
It's kind of nice. It's like it's a small buff, but it can be pretty effective.
Yeah, so against you guys like
especially
mercenaries, you know, you have really good henchmen.
Not so effective against destruction. Skaven is effective against, but chaos and undead don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, I think it affects mercenaries, and I think it affects Skaven more because they lose a warp guard. You guys lose a shooter or a warrior, and
Like,
it helps their Templars
it-
because the whole point is their Templars can get locked down really easily. So it's a lot harder to lock down
Yeah.
a Templar.
It doesn't, like, regardless of who you meet, like, it's across the board. The henchmen for witch hunters are
Yeah,
the worst.
sure, yeah.
So it doesn't matter who you're playing up against.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in a better position regardless. But definitely, like, the mercs suffer more than the many, and I mean chaos also a bit.
Yeah.
Then again, like, mercs' other units are usually quite solid as well. So All Alone and Fear Test usually not that effective. High leadership units. So
No, it's if you can leadership bomb the ranged units, but the ranged units are not supposed to be in close combat anyway. So
well, it all depends because you don't have to go for a range build as mercs. Although a lot of people do.
Yeah. So
you
can go
want to
melee.
do 1 or 2 range probably.
I mean, the marksmen are pretty superior.
I'm pretty excited, man. I can't wait to get everything with the cult, take a demon in the final, and have a random deployment. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
And I'll just
Take the
veto
demon out,
everything. I'll be like,
please.
"There's gonna be a plague bearer, and we're going full random. Have fun. You can't trump any of that."
I mean,
So-
or like imagine like a close initiative or like all scattered encounter, and then you're meeting something like
a
I don't
demonette.
know what's the fast demon.
The demonette is the fastest one. She has like
the fucking demonette.
She has 87 initiative.
Yeah, which
Unengaged
shows
character.
fucking stupidity. So it's like stupidity and some crits turn 1, and then
Yeah.
everybody's scattered.
she,
Yeah,
so
she's
I
so
just, I
40 or 60% crit chance.
no, yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I just played one
So it's gonna
today
be a
in the
few local
campaign.
beams as well.
I
And
mean, the demonette is the real horrible one.
It's
thing.
45%.
It's-
I just played them on the mission today, and they have 45% crit chance. It's insane. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really strong. But
And they have
more
8
Like, all demons are strong in some sense.
she has 8
The
movement.
demonette is
Yeah.
the demonette is strong because of movement. They
She
can
has
get
8 movement,
anywhere,
and
it
she has
doesn't matter
parry
where they wanna
bypass. She has
And they
complete
can
parry
crits
bypass.
Everything.
be. Yeah, it's
Pa-
crits and movement. So strong.
Parry-
Paybo is just like a fucking beast.
The parry
Slow,
bypass.
but, oh my god, when it gets into fucking combat. Oh,
Even the bloodletter's
like
kind of
anybody who's
dangerous.
engaged by the plague bearer dies.
So, do you think that these team rewards are relatively even compared to one another, or?
What I like about them is that some of the warbands who really do suffer a lot, they kind of get a good boost.
Yeah.
I like that.
They're
so
well
yeah,
thought
I
out.
like them.
They're well thought out for sure. I think again, mine are strong. If I can get to rank 5 and just say "fuck you," I veto everything. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty strong.
I think that's really nice as well. It's also nice against mercenaries again because it means that the V2-1 more, V2-1 less thing doesn't.
Exactly.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Exactly. And the sneak attacks, it's like, oh well, I just say random. Then and you might get an ambush
Yeah.
anyway. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
random.
Yeah.
But he could be ambushed in that case.
Yeah. Exactly. You don't. But I like how it synergizes with the 2 DLC. So I could say that, but they could still do okay for PvP. I still say 4 or 5 heroes or whatnot. So you can still have 2 rewards working at the same time, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, imagine undead versus fucking witch hunters.
Yeah.
So let's look at the
I
system.
remove your hero, I remove your henchman.
So the one thing, yeah, that is funny. The one thing about the sisters is so
games.
they can pick the temple. Obviously, that's the point. Is they can pick the temple.
Mm.
So how is that helping them?
Yeah.
That's the thing I want to get to. Is
I think it helps them because it's no matter where you start. I mean, if you get to pick deployment, it's good. But if otherwise, it's a really good comet map for them.
Mm.
It's extremely good.
so
But
so
even
let's
if
talk
you-
about we got
even if
Clyde
you-
and Shellproof. I already feel like they're going to take high initiative sisters. So they'll
Yeah, I
probably
feel like Clyde might be inclined to.
Yeah, so he'll probably pick that map so he could just take advantage of his initiative either way, no matter what. Say he starts
I mean-
inside, he'll want to, he might have a great deployment, or he can use his initiative to fix a broken one.
I mean,
so.
say that he spawns outside. He can always station some of his purifiers or whatever to just run in, comet, and then run out.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then as he's doing that, he just advances with the rest of his units.
So I would
So-
that's where I would have to take a full random deployment. I'd be like, oh, well, I have to. Otherwise, we're going to get Temple of Sigmar, and I might get screwed over anyway. So.
Yeah. I think sisters might be sisters are they might be really ugly to meet.
Yep.
Yeah, they are
But
no
they're
matter what.
They're always like
Yeah.
like a pain.
I never want to
always a
fight
pain to meet
sisters.
sisters.
They really are. Because
Yeah,
what they can,
that's what I love about them as well.
yeah, because they can
and-
spam comets or be
Yeah.
really tanky. They can do a lot of different things. Yeah,
I really love
They can
oh,
spam comments and be tanky.
yeah.
Or they can, this is the one thing that I always did. Like they can also just not use almost any comets whatsoever, and then people have like geared up to meet comets, and you don't use them. You've used your skill points on other matters. So basically, you're going into a match where they have geared for the wrong stuff, and then you'll be automatically favored. That's what I always did with my sisters. I loved it.
Yeah, and I mean, the buff that the Matriarch starts with is it makes you that you can make a really good crit build with your whole team, because that's like what, plus 10, 15 crit when it's mastered, and plus damage. So
it's strong.
Yeah,
and they have a good advantage in initiative as well. It depends. Like, sure, you can go for heavy armor, but even then, you have the flails, which kind of,
Should we talk about a bit about again the factions? I don't want to maybe make some predictions. I don't know. I don't want to step on anyone's toes this early, but we'll do that last, and then I gotta go. But I got up the teams here, where again I think Witch Hunters look or Mercs. I think you guys have to have the favorite right now, given your experience base.
I think our team is very strong.
But Sisters scare the shit out of me too because of Clyde and Shellproof. The top two are really strong there, and you guys too. But just because what we talked about, Sisters themselves just being really strong.
Yeah, so I think the strength of the faction plus the players is going to be. I think Sisters is going to be a bit of a dominating faction, at least concerning 2 players.
I think we're gonna as every faction. I think they're gonna have to work at preventing Crush Their Will for Sisters. We're gonna have to do our best to limit their Crush Their Will ability.
True.
Yeah.
You should do that against every player, though.
Sure, yeah, but especially them, sure.
But especially Sisters.
I think we've talked about.
What do you think about the chaos dudes?
So I have no idea. I know. Me and Paranoia will bring our A game, but I know nothing about these other 4 players.
I think that's also kind of funny because it's a bit random. Who knows? Maybe they are going to be the underdogs.
Yeah, I know. So, I'm pretty sure Steiner has
not.
made a rank 10 warband. Like he's gotten to level 10. I think he's at least done that. So.
Wow, great job, Fenrir.
You can always coach them.
Yeah,
well.
sure. But they're a very tough faction to play if you're a new player.
But I mean, with the right guidance, I think the chaos are quite. They're definitely manageable. It's all about managing mutations and then. Knowing what is strong, and then you're good. Armor and damage. There you go.
Yeah, and you can get some chaos are one of the best damage dealers out there.
I mean, chaos is straightforward in their strategy, right?
Yeah.
You just go melee and then you go in and slaughter. That's it.
Yeah, I'm worried.
I have
one
brethren running around shooting, but.
See you around, Current. Have a good one.
Thank you for the discussion. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you later.
See you, man. Thanks for everything.
See you.
I would just say I'm concerned as the leader because I don't know anything about these people, but I think the Poison Wind Globadier does wonders for us. I really do.
You think so? I would probably not go for the Poison Wind Globadier for anything but the Skaven.
I think it just helps with all the self-harm we do. That's the one thing, Chaos, you can kind of outlast them, then they kill themselves with adrenaline rushes and stuff. So I think it helps them kind of top off. Because what was such a pain in the ass, I can just tell you, from Mordheim Madness Season 2, was people could kind of camp me, and shoot me to death.
Yeah.
And I'd have no way to recover. They'd be like, well, I can Poison Wind Globadier. All the Skaven or the Witch Hunters could heal. It's like, Jesus Christ. So now it's like, okay, I can play the skirmish game because I have a Poison Wind Globadier as well. So I can kind of...
Well, yep. I would still...
I can say that in BBL 3 now, I love to have the skirmish game with my Poison Wind Globadier. I could out-skirmish even Skaven sometimes, and then just have them come to me. And when you can get people come to you with Chaos... then you
exactly, because you're gonna win as Chaos. You're gonna win every melee engagement. You should, and so you can kind of force them to come to you, win the melee engagement, recover, and then continue to win the. You know what I mean? It really changes the dynamic a lot. So
maybe I don't know. I'm not too sold because I like focusing on one thing, and I don't want to spread my strength. If I was playing Chaos, which I am in BBL at least, I don't want to spread my strength towards many things. I want to focus on one thing, or like several things maybe. Not too much. So like if I was going Chaos, I want to go for that really high burst damage at any cost and really just maximize. And then my strategy would just revolve around seeing to it that my opponents can't exploit my weaknesses, and then I'm good.
So, for example, I couldn't, in Mordheim Madness Season 2, I would have loved to take Mastery Adrenaline Rush on my Magister, and then I can do 4 orders. Instead, I did some cute shit with Introspection and basic Adrenaline to try to reduce the self-harm, but now it's like, all right, just fucking Mastery Adrenaline Rush, 4 orders, and then heal up, It kind of changes the dynamic.
Yeah. I suppose the healing factor can be worth it.
So anyway, Skaven, I think we were talking about they're pretty strong with their card, with the reward card, but I wonder about the players. I really don't know any of these players.
I feel like they are one of the weakest factions, but it's also true of a lot of factions which are kind of in the gray zone.
Yeah, so I know Sneaky High Elf.
How much people have learned from past lessons.
Yeah. Sneaky High Elf said he's played as Skaven, so I know he has experience, and I know Craybush and Rorator, but I don't know about those middle guys. So
no.
And then you got the undead.
It depends how much thought they are prepared to lay down on this. Like if they are not, then
exactly.
I think they're gonna go out quite easily. But if they do sit down, like talk things through and really focus on what they have to do to be strong as Skaven, which is leveling up as a team.
Yeah,
I think they can become a dominating factor, and
Skaven can be super good.
Yeah, they can also be super bad.
Exactly. So we know from previous tournaments that they perform the worst in progression leagues.
Yeah.
So, but now they can replace their Eshin Sorcerer for the Adept. They can do some things that help them. So,
Skaven has always been a faction which is, if you're a very skilled player, they can be incredibly good.
Yeah,
because
but here's the caveat again, though. I feel like they're way more book dependent than any other faction. They are really shitty without tomes and stuff.
They need the tomes for exhaustion and adrenaline rush and
exactly,
stuff,
so and they don't have very high weapon skill. Their weapon skill is shit, and they've always struggled with. And they don't have any perforation. They don't have any weapons that perforate, and so they have Sorcerer's Curse. Sorcerer's Curse will help a lot.
I've come to the realization that even though they have these, they kind of lack in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
I think they have some burst alternatives that kind of, it kind of makes up for it. Like in terms of armor, I've seen some quite nice poison builds, and I know poison is like, oh well, everybody has 50% resistance, but still, even then, it has been worth it.
I think that's I think they need to go back and watch. Who is the guy in the turn? He beat you, whoever that guy was. They need to go True Griffin. They need to go watch his videos. I think that's the way to build them. So.
True Griffin made a really good poison band.
Yeah, that was true.
Skaven is interesting because they can be very powerful, but they can also be really weak. We'll see how they fare.
And then we got the undead. That's a tough war band.
Oh yeah, and then we have undead. They're also scary. And undead.
No, the undead are not scary.
So the big difference here is eventually they'll get
the undead player.
They'll get necromancers and actual zombies this time, so that changes the dynamic completely.
Yeah, so if I were playing undead, like for most players, I would just go for Slavius example, and you'll probably end up with something very decent.
Yeah.
I think go zombie all the way because you can start with the necromancers. So
yeah, no reason to go ghouls. They're terrible.
No, but I would do exactly what I said though. I was actually thinking about like Call of Fanhell is more than I was being serious with Fenrir. I think he's still here. I would just kind of dumb it down and take ghouls. And then I think Slavier won the last tournament with Undead, and then now Karn's won with Undead. So they're obviously strong.
Yeah.
And I think you've seen 2 examples of taking the tanky zombie version and then the initiative manipulation version. And I really like the initiative in this format with having high initiative and boosting that with Call of Vanhel. You can almost take like a dodgy cloth thrall or
Yeah,
vampire.
but ghouls are so
you know?
terrible, Kid and Paul. Like they have so many troubles that they just can't get past. No armor. I mean,
Sure,
it's
but
such a dangerous game to play without armor. Like armor is so powerful, and in progression tournament, giving armor up is I wouldn't say insane, but it's bordering craziness. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, but I
I mean,
think
I had a really problem in the beginning in BBL2 when I didn't find any armor in the BBL3 when I didn't find
Yeah.
any armor and I just run cloth all around.
so. That's just it.
I lost
Undead
3 or 4
can
guys
kind of get away with that.
every
so.
match.
Yeah.
The undead can kind of get away with
It's-
cloth
it's-
because none of their henchmen need armor, and then you only need a couple pieces of heavy armor and you're good to go. So
Yeah, but like it's also very powerful because it's such a roadblock going into like a heavy armor henchman.
Okay, so
It's-
the way I set up the undead team that I'm gonna run here, I have 1 zombie I'm gonna tank the frack out of. I'm gonna go run 4 ghouls,
Okay.
2 thralls,
So
1
Um,
necromancer, and 1 globadier.
that's okay. Fine.
I think
Why 4 ghouls?
I think just to say I think Karn had the right ratio. I think 3 to 2 was really pretty ideal.
You know that I'm just gonna inform you. You know that Karen didn't want to go ghouls. He thought that ghouls were terrible, and
They're
he
not.
still does.
I
And
mean-
the reason he went ghouls
They're not.
was that in BBL you couldn't go for the necromancers. First off, you had to wait, and the necromancers
Yeah.
were really weak.
And I think he
So
realized they
zombies
actually
weren't
are
really an
not
option.
bad. I think they are actually good. They hit hard. They're psych immune. You can
Yeah.
get that poison, the debuff with staggering
But
blow
they're
is
also
really
morale
strong.
damage. I mean, zombies are not. They have so
Yeah,
much going for them.
Sure, but you can get your morale so high on a ghoul that it doesn't matter. So it's like it's a free zombie anyway. When you get your morale higher than the morale impact, what's the difference? I don't know.
In a way.
But then they got
But
the
it's-
crypt. Then they got the Cryptor. Let's talk about that. I mean, that can be
Oh,
pretty strong. So
Oh, the Cryptor is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, out of all the impressives, I mean, Maiden is very strong, but in the very early game, like having heavy armor, no movement is going to be terrible for her.
yeah.
Cryptor comes right off,
Yeah.
high movement, high damage. It's
Yeah.
large. You can't crit the damn
Fear,
thing.
it
It
causes
has just
fear.
passive armor.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to die. A horrible death
Yeah.
when you meet it.
I think that's what's
300
exciting.
HP?
So
Good luck.
the undead can do so much more now with the rank 5 start, and I'm just excited for that feature for them. So it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see
I
what
think-
people do.
yeah.
So
I actually took the Crypt Horror as well, and I'm gonna try it out because I'm not sure I wanted to run Crypt Horror just to try something different.
oh, you have to.
Mm.
You have to.
And the market just rewarded me with a purple grade.
What?
Ooh.
So choices made. I'm running Crypt Horror.
Well, he's
Yep.
the
Wait,
Yep.
did you get a purple on what?
yeah. It's rank 5, man. You can get it at the first market. So.
I didn't know you could get like purple that earlier. This is gonna be
Yep.
insane.
That's the point, man. We're trying to counter comets a bit and
we're
stuff.
starting at Warband rank 5. We
Yeah.
can absolutely start with purples.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Imagine getting like, isn't there like a let's see here, they're like special market rotations, isn't there? Like, oh yeah, a wandering merchant arrived or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Or
Or
like,
special
oh, this
craftsman.
master artisan created this and
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Imagine getting those like the first
So
thing.
I
or,
think
like,
a
second or
Cryptor,
third or
Cryptor
15
is
or
a
something.
large impressive that can go through doorways, so it's gonna be strong no matter
With
what.
with a purple hammer. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god. 3 attacks per round, is it? Oh.
Yep.
And so the last thing I would say
Yeah.
is the Witch Hunters. They're a strong warband, and I think up top to bottom they have very strong players. I don't see a weak link. in
Yeah.
them.
So
Except-
the
Witch
problem-
Hunters will be really dangerous, and they just ignore their impressive and go forward.
Who's playing Witch Hunters? I can't remember.
So I got it open on the Twitch. It's Nanashi, Quist, Dig, Valentine, all experienced with level 10 and progression. And then Sassy
Yeah,
Assassin, I think, is experienced guy who wants to get into PvP. And then you got Jackal.
It was seen Jackal. Oh,
Yeah.
Jackal. That's interesting. Haven't seen him
But
in a while.
I don't mention
Looks like
Jackal because he said he can't do every PvP. But when he does play, he'll be strong, I think. And worst of all, I think when he doesn't play, it counts as a loss. So he'll be like tearing up the lower division.
Yeah.
No, they have 2 players, that Jackal and one more.
Yeah, so I don't know if
So
they're
sharing a spot.
yeah, Athreus. I've never heard. So does Jackal get a loss if he doesn't play? Because that could be very dangerous. He'll just be down there wrecking the low ranks.
It depends on
you
how
know?
many games he has reported himself to play. Like, has he reported him to play full? Then probably not. But if he's reported like, I can only do this many games, then it's fine.
So if he's like, let's just say 4-1, he'd have to play higher level players, I would hope, right?
Yeah.
It should be how it would go. But that's just it. When you look at a roster, you have to think, how is my 5th ranked player? Are they going to be playing like middle to lower players, and they could dominate and just get the faction rewards quicker, the secondaries?
Yeah.
So.
What I like about this is that even if you're like a really, really good player here, you're going to meet some real opposition always. So it's not going to be like, oh, it's like me carrying because I'm so good. No, everybody's going to contribute to this win, whatever, skill level you are on. And you're going to have like a similar win ratio, probably. I do really like that. It's not going to be as many auto losses as well. It's just going to be some good gameplay.
Yeah. Well, I might in certain warbands take a longer time. So let's just say Rorator, because I know Skaven. They take a while to get going with your assassin adept and like no toughness. So Skaven have it tough early. So maybe he'll lose early, but suddenly he's playing other people he probably shouldn't be playing. Then he'll suddenly start winning and doing really well and things like that. So
also consider no impressive on them, so that's going to be
so they might start off really slow, but then they're getting the secondaries because they're playing weaker competition, and then they ramp up towards the middle to end.
Well, I don't. Mercs aren't getting the impressive much either. I don't think.
The ogre.
Ogres. Yeah.
The ogre is amazing, pal. Oh, Jesus Christ. So the ogre is kind of like looked over most of the time. I agree, like not many people play him, but he is a beast. Like,
so here's
he's super. He can be an armor value high.
So for example, let's say you're playing the Sisters Hole poker, and then you purposely say, "Hey, take the temple," so you can bring your ogre. I mean, that could be an example. I mean, it might backfire, but.
I think that it would be okay, because I think he can go up the stairs. Can he? I think he can.
Yeah, no, he can't. He can go up the stairs, but he can't go through the door upstairs.
No, but I think that's usually fine, because people, like when I engage with the ogre, I'm probably going to use exhaustion to catch people. Anyway.
Yeah, I've tested. He can get around on the temple, no problem. He can use climb points, some climb points and stuff.
Yeah. It's probably not gonna, because they can't hide. Like if people are trying to hide in those like small doorways, I suppose there is some way they can kind of cheat me of engaging some of the time. But as long as I don't make those bad decisions, I don't think it's going to be a problem. They'll still have to be in the courtyard, like in the middle, or like inside or somewhere. It's not going to be. I think it'll be fine. Regardless.
All right. Well, I got to go, guys. I got a phone call, and it's time to start dinner. So thanks for the discussion. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. I'll see you guys later.
Same. Oh, Adam, we'll have to strategize a bit.